Thank you, Toby. Very cool.
Well, let's hope OBS doesn't crash on me this time.
Just hoping it
Hello.
doesn't crash on my end because, and yes, so we are playing as the Yellow Soul from
Alright,
the
so...
original Undertale. Interesting how we've got ourselves a little bit of automatic pathfinding here. It makes it a little bit different to the original Undertale. Because you see,
I'm
if I
gonna
if I
edit
hold
down.
down, we automatically go. Yeah, see, there's auto collision right here.
Alright.
Now, yes. Now I will point out that this is a free game, so any complaints that I have are going to be, with the full knowledge that this is not a.
Not a real
Hi,
thing.
Frogget. Yeah, this is not a full production. And yeah, so we were playing as Clover, or for all I know, because this is because this is Undertale, Clover could be literally anybody here. Hi, Toriel. Oh
By the
no,
way,
not really. I kind of came here on purpose.
Alex, did you know that, in terms of wanting to, like, make matchups, the Reddit community had one matchup in mind for one of the main protagonists of Bravely Default?
Was it Sans?
No, it was Tiz Aurier versus the protagonist of Undertale, of all things.
Oh, Frisk. That was gonna be
Yeah,
my next guess.
I've got bad news for your boy, Frisk.
Well, Frisk is just like a regular dude, so that makes it.
Tiz solos his verse.
And notice how there's not a save point here. I wonder how the game is going to handle this, because, like, saving is very much an important part of the gameplay, but in terms of the lore of Undertale, saving is kind of, well, Flowey doesn't exist yet, so maybe I have the,
Okay, in case you're wondering,
power.
Bravely Default kind of has some of the same absurd levels of power scaling as, say, I don't know, the usual cosmology bullshit from Final Fantasy. In case you were curious.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say, because, Undertale is, like, kind of impressive in some ways, but in terms of RPG,
Power scaling.
methodology, and power scaling, thing like...
Here's the thing.
Controls are a little bit imprecise. I wonder if there's a way for me to...
Here's the thing, Alec.
I have a missing poster. Here. I am vengeance. I am the knight. I am the Lone Ranger.
You know, a lot of people didn't like Johnny Depp in that movie.
A lot of people didn't like that movie, and frankly, hey, while I understand it,
made the news
like,
of how much of a box office bomb that was. Like,
yeah,
that's how big a
God
deal
damn it
was. Like, I distinctly remember
I fell
seeing...
through the floor again.
Like, I distinctly remember seeing that in the newspaper.
Yeah, I remember hearing about that. The thing is, it's one of those films that Disney put way too much money into. Like, a Lone Ranger film should not cost as much as they put into it, but they put a shitload of money into it.
This is why you do not put so much money into one thing and expecting a huge turnout just because you're fucking Disney.
Well, Rebel Moon is doing pretty good because it's only a 50, 55, 60 million dollar movie, I think.
Yeah.
Joker did really good because Joker did immensely well based on the sign is obscured by leaves. A few words are visible. Caution, X, walk.
Yeah, and not only that, there's also the fact that that the director only really wanted it to be like a one and done kind of deal.
Which is weird because the Lone Ranger is a concept that lends itself to multiple films. And in fact, the original Lone Ranger was a serialized radio story, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, so now we're messing with the set dressing. I thought you weren't supposed to be alive yet. When did, oh, this is Flowey. Flowey the Flower.
Oh yeah, the main villain of the first game.
Yes, and, well, yes, I'm aware of that. Why did my name go away?
Because it wanted to turn invisible.
Listen, Azrael, if I just give you a hug, will you go away?
Okay, so...
Level of violence, I'm aware, yes.
So, essentially... Why
are you trying to help me? I'm immediately suspicious. Is this back when Azrael was trying to be, like... I can save your progress.
Okay, so Alex...
I can make it unhappen for you. Is this back when he was trying to be helpful?
I wonder if it is.
I mean, I know that there was a period of time in this whole bag of nonsense when, that is his incredibly long lifespan. When he was trying to help people, but, you know, before the nihilism set in. But I thought that happened, like, after, once the other 6 souls fell down.
Okay, so Alex, in case you were wondering about Bravely Default, so the weird thing is that I've been trying to do like the update data feature on the game, which lets me interact with either people all around or just, you know, get friend bots to help expand the village, but I fear that the whole Nintendo network no longer supporting 3DS might end up affecting that, and I may have to resort to an action replay if I want to replay that game fully again.
Yeah. Action replay, you can actually... Okay, so my name came back, so I'm betting what happened is, because Undertale has been completely, mined out in terms of assets and data, I'm betting what happened is that the people who made this game just reused the encounter code from the original Flowey fight at the start of the original game, and then just forgot to input the name down in the lower left-hand corner. I mean, that's fine. It's a free mod. It's just...
So yeah, I'm back to what I was talking about earlier. It's like
nothing.
It's like I would try to update the data so that I could get more into the village that I'm supposed to be repairing for the game, and it's like error occurred, and I'm like, please don't. Because I really hope I'm wrong about this.
Yeah, Bravely Default, is one of those things. So it's a 3DS game, right? And so you could probably, oh, god damn it. Okay, so, is it Street Pass or is it Spot Pass stuff?
No, it's just internet connection stuff.
Okay. Yeah, that might be a, XP is spelled XP, not EXP.
Well, again, I guess I'm gonna have to use an action replay to cheat. That's gonna be the only way I'm gonna be able to
It says
play.
exposition in large friendly letters. Okay. Yeah,
Exposition. Hush it up, ASAP. Okay, so all right, so to kind of give a premise on Bravely Default, it is a game. Yes, it is a game. It is it is a turn-based RPG for the Nintendo 3DS, where we have four main characters to play as each with differing backgrounds.
Oh, God damn it.
There's Agnes Oblige, who is the Wind Vestal, and her task is to basically maintain the Wind Crystal, also that the world's wind would be
God damn it.
reassured and whatnot. Because if anything happens to the crystal, they're crystals, then certain things happen. And see Final Fantasy 1 for more information. And because the crystals of the elements are essentially the wind, water, fire, and earth. Essentially a somewhat inverse order of Final Fantasy 1's crystals. In case you were curious. Alex?
Okay.
Another character, or Ringabel, whose name is kind of a play on his whole story, which is he's a amnesiac Casanova, who happens to have an eye for the ladies. And the only clues about himself that he could find are in this journal titled Deeds Journal. No, it's not me trying to sneak in that These Nuts joke that I have going on the server. Or no, there's actually a bit more to it.
Private property, no trespassing. Well, whose is it? I'm fucking lost.
Yeah, well, I can't seem to get over there. Because I lost the one thing that could get me over there.
Oh my. I was one.
But Who are you people? Why am I here? Or why are any of us here? Anywho. So
standing here, I realize you were just like me, trying to make history. But who's to judge the right from wrong?
When your guard is down, I think we'll both agree that violence breeds violence. But in the end, it has to be this way.
God fucking damn it, I have only 2 health left, and a save point is right there. Distract.
Okay.
And I'm fucking dead. I moved to the wrong place. How careless. Thank you. Thank you for the encouragement, Flowey. Can't believe I'm saying this.
Okay.
I'm so used to you being a bastard to me. You being nice is
kind of strange.
Yeah.
Anywho, so then comes the and then there is Adia Lee, who is the daughter of Grand Marshal Bravely, and Brave is spelled Braev. and she is off to, and she ends up, I'm going to join the Edenian Sky Knights, who are supposedly the main antagonists of the game, same as they would be painted it as such throughout the adventure. Then, last but not least, we have Tiz Aurier, who seemed like an ordinary farm boy, but then his farm got sucked into this gigantic crater, and his younger brother fell in as well.
A sketchy character. Oh no. No. I've been here before.
And essentially, the four of them come together, coming together to try to save the world and all that jazz. Any questions?
Hang on. Right now, an anthropomorphic pencil is drawing things at me.
I'm gonna have to exit the course and start over. Because I can't get the 100 coins in that level if I can't grab all the red coins and get that shell.
Okay. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I'm so fucking happy to see you, Flowey. I'm a bud and bring along hopes and dreams. There's a weirdo fucking goat down in the ruins.
One Piece.
He's probably related to Toriel and Azriel. Probably also Asgore. Sure.
Okay. I do apologize if I made that lore dump sound, if I made that background of the game sound boring.
I'm just saving to make sure that my lemonade stays. This is
Anywho, so this game was also got hit by the weird localization stick.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Where everybody got aged up just because Adia was under the age of consent in most states in the United States. Because Adia in Japan is 15 years old as opposed to everybody else. And I'm like, you do realize that her main love interest is a guy who's 5 years older than her. And you still didn't fix that age gap, guys. Because they made everybody older by about 2 years. Well, 2 to 3 years, Alex. And I'm like, you still didn't fix the age gap between India and Ring a Bell. So Ring a Bell is, in Japan, is 20, making him the oldest of the group. With Agnes being the second oldest.
Hey. Wait a...
So really, at that point, why even bother with the age changes? Is if it accomplishes nothing.
Well, they're ultimately what they're attempting to do in things like this. Yes, I want.
I mean, hell. In the quote in Bravely Second, in which unfortunately ended up being a failure in terms of, sales, because I have to wonder...
Lemonade. I don't like those quotation marks, game.
Anywho. So 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 for Bravely Second and End Layer, even though they kind of stayed true to the how the localization ended up approaching the age up things. The age up is ignored for the guys in that game.
So you get a so you're essentially in a God damn it. So you're essentially in a God damn it.
In a goddammit Napa.
God damn it, Napa.
Ah, good old goddammit Napa.
So you're essentially in a mild cougar situation.
Sure, let's go with that.
Do any of the girls wind up being older than the guys?
I think. I know.
Game, please, game.
I know. Idea.
Me at the fucking hedge maze from a different freeware game named Hugo 2 Who Done It.
I think the only one that Idea ends up being supposedly older than, and for Bravely Second, since they ignore the localization changes, is since the ages for the guys by Bravely Second is ignored in the localization. And so Tiz is as old as he was in the first game in the localization, which is 19, and in Japan he's 16. And Ring a Bell is still 23. In the localized version of Bravely Second. So, Alex, tell me how this makes any sense.
The girls went into the hyperbolic time chamber.
By the way, canonically,
and while they were in the hyperbolic rhyme chamber, they
you're doing that on purpose. I know that
they did absolutely nothing.
And by the way, Idea is the only other returning party member in Bravely Second other than Tiz. Since Tiz ended up in a plot-induced coma in the true ending of Bravely Default. And the plot-induced coma was because he apparently released the player's soul all from within himself. So and the celestial realm in Bravely Default is essentially the real world.
That's interesting.
It is, actually. There's a lot of really neat lore in Bravely Default, and it's kind of a shame that it's largely ignored.
Flowey, I will save as many times as I damn well please.
Flowey just hates your guts.
Well, he doesn't hate my guts as much as he's going to hate my guts.
You know, the funny thing...
Rather, I should say, he doesn't hate Clover's guts as much as he's going to hate Frisk's guts.
Okay, so... interestingly enough, I got a story about how I ended up attaining Bravely Default. So, I had heard about the game when it came out, like a while ago. Oh, and one of my friends was not really all that into it, and I said, "Hey, I'd be interested in the game," and he's like, "Okay, I'll sell to you for $20."
That's cool.
Gave him $20, gave him $20, and I got the game. And
yeah, getting a decent game for $20 is pretty good.
Yeah,
especially for a 3DS game like that.
And
those tend to maintain their value.
Yep.
I think Fire Emblem Awakening is still about like 30, 40 bucks.
And I didn't really get too far into the game until after I started watching HC Bailey's playthrough of it. He's a YouTuber I'd recommend, and for RPG, for if you're looking for RPG playthrough. It was like he has some very entertaining commentary and whatnot about how games he plays. And let's just say he had an interesting thing to say about one of the plot twists of Bravely Default. Because, like, after you mend the four crystals and go to this big light, near the edge of the world, you seemingly start over again. And let's just say that Tiz is not a happy camper after finding this out.
Huh.
So, however, the thing is that you still have all your stuff from earlier in the game.
I think Nier Automata was kind of like that, where you had to restart the game.
Don't forget that these are both made by Square, so that's entirely coincidental.
Yeah. Flowey, I don't think you understand the severity of the circumstance.
Now...
Besides, we only have one save file. This isn't Deltarune.
Now, here's a funny thing about how that, that whole thing works. So, Aerie, who is a little fairy traveling companion that goes with Agnes and is very eager to do the whole to keep going through this whole scenario over and over again. And because you do have to do this you have to do this at least like 4 other times before you get to the true ending of the game. But thankfully, it's not as tedious since you have the airship and you can go to any. You have the airship that you can just activate whenever you want, and you can go to whatever crystal, whatever order you can tackle whatever order you want to do it in. So it adds a bit of what do you call it?
So it adds get across that bridge.
And there's also interesting side scenarios to explore in the main game as well as in the side quests, which there are plenty of in Bravely Default. And the side quests usually land you new jobs to utilize in the game, since, you know, there's that whole system. You've played Final Fantasy 3 and 5, right?
Yes.
So there you go. That's how the job systems are. You get multiple jobs throughout the game, which consists of which they're called asterisks in Bravely Default. Your first asterisk is the freelancer, which is the default one. You'd want to level this one up since it gives you how many treasures are in a dungeon and whatnot, among other things. And it also lands you some neat little bonuses here and there. Or if that makes any sense to you. Oh, like upping your job experience at this points. And the next asterisk is the monk asterisk, which I'm sure you can guess what that lets you do.
It lets you beat people up.
Yes, it lets you beat people up with your bare hands. And your bare hands. I'm guessing you're missing the joke there.
Sorry, I had a mild panic attack when I was trying to avoid the bullets.
Yes, bullet hell.
Mildly bullet. I'd say more bullet purgatory.
Okay.
So what was the joke again?
You could beat up enemies with your bare hands as well as your bare hands.
Oh.
You can tell that Fairly Odd Parents is somewhat influenced that joke.
Yeah.
Because, come on, that was actually a really good joke in that special. Like, Crocker literally made Timmy's dad's hands into bare hands. And I'm like, well, now. Anywho, then there's the White Mage Asterisk, which lets you use white magic, which you do have to purchase. And the only way to up the type of white magic, or the white magic that you do, is by leveling up the job class. Next up is the Black Magic, which same as White Mage, only with black magic. Also, there are specific types of weapons that each job class is good with. And so it kind of lends you some variety there.
Huh. So even though I died, I kept my... Interesting. Flowey, I need to abuse your powers again.
Okay, so...
I wonder if working with this guy is the one who makes Flowey turn evil. If he decides, fuck it, I'm done dealing with these fucking humans.
Yeah, that's probably the case. Now, and then there's the Knight Asterisk, which essentially is an armored class that makes full utility of like swords and shields. And this class is a this class also allows you to gain the abilities to take hits for your have certain people take hits for your allies and whatnot. So that way you don't have to worry about whoever's in a low health zone getting killed and whatnot. Like you have a potentially tankier or a member of your party take a hit. Does that make any sense to you?
Oh, that's creepy. Yeah. Now the game is fading into darkness.
The Thief Asterisk.
Hello! Hello, creepy eyes. No, Batman!
The Thief Asterisk is kind of self-explanatory.
Yeah.
You do thief things, like stealing things. Their best weapons are knives and daggers. And they also boast quite a bit of speed because one of their best attacks is this attack called Godspeed Strike, which the higher your speed, the more damage you'll do. And it racks up a ton of damage, but it costs a bit of your brave points, which is essentially how many times you get to attack. If it's down to -1, then that's when you stop. I'll explain the brave and default system in a bit.
Excuse me.
So I apologize if
I had to. Yeah, don't... Whenever something like that is messed up, don't ever feel bad about having to cheat to make something that doesn't work anymore because like I had to cheat to get Pokemon to work correctly. I had to because the day-night cycle was tied to my computer, not to the actual game. I had to mess around with that a little bit.
Right. Now, oh, now the now the next asterisk is the merchant asterisk. You'll never guess what this one does.
You get to sell shit.
No, you get to throw money at people.
Huh.
Yeah. I don't think it's literally throwing money at
Shut up and
people.
take my money.
I don't think it's literally throwing money at people, but essentially your attacks are money related.
Huh. I was moving. I was
There's the
fucking
star.
moving, game.
Anywho, and then there's the time mage asterisk, which lets you use time magic, which is how you get access to stuff like Quake, fake haste, and whatnot. And then there's also the spell fencer, which lets you enhance your weapons with magic. Basically, I have a sword. It is now on fire. You have a face. You no
It is
longer
also
have...
now on fire.
No. Now you no longer have a face. I presume... I'm guessing you've probably never seen YouTuber Impulse Cody.
Never even heard of him.
He's got some good content. Obviously. Obviously, there are probably better content creators, but it's pretty all right. Then we have... Then next up on the list is the... Next up on the list in Bravely Default... Oh, there is the Hunter... or asterisk, which makes you very versed in bows. And also has multiple attacks that lets you target everybody, like all of your enemies and whatnot. And there's the summoner, which take a wild guess what they do.
Summon creatures to do things.
Oh yes, actually.
What? What just happened? Ah, okay. Conquer new lands in the name of quiet.
Okay then.
Alrighty then.
Anyway. And then there's the Valkyrie, which is essentially your Lance class. As they're the class you want to have if you want access to the move Jump. On which, if you're familiar with any Final Fantasy game that has a Lancer, you know what that does.
The Lancer's jump move was practically mandatory in Final Fantasy III. I once had to convert my entire party over to Lancers.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Everybody hated Dragoons in that game. In that case,
Yeah,
everybody
Dragoons.
hated that boss fight. I have
I
heard
hated that. I hated the job system in that fucking game because they wouldn't just like some of the jobs were really powerful, and then they were like like if you'd start off, you'd get really powerful, and then you'd get to a portion of the game, like you'd clean the floor, and then you'd get to a portion of the game where the basic classes were basically worthless, and excuse me, you'd have to go back to earlier areas and have to grind up more advanced versions of the same damn classes. Yep. Or just grind up new classes so that they could have, like, so you could beat somebody who had some kind of problem, you know?
Yeah.
Like the fucking Dragoons. Autobots transform and roll out.
Now, so
this
I'm
isn't
guessing
even my final form.
So I'm guessing
and he's dropping NESs on my head.
So I'm guessing that particular boss fight is what turned you off from the Dragoon class.
Yes. Do you speak fluent refer? Oh my god! I'm getting hit by the Kamehameha! So apparently in the United Kingdom.
Yes.
This is via r/Legal Advice UK. Here's from the thread. My wife left her laptop on at a party at a friend's house. One of her friends apparently booted up Skyrim, and he discovered that my wife has installed quite a few NSFW mods on it. Okay, so the first problem was you were using somebody else's computer without necessarily being invited, and you know, Skyrim being one of those most notoriously modded games of all time.
Yeah.
You know, like, I first played Skyrim on a friend's computer, but he had it set up at a party, and he was actually saying, like, hey, you know, you guys can go ahead and play it. This is back in, like, 2011 when the game first came out. And, okay, I presume I need to get all these lit up. And, you know, he had mods installed on it, but he didn't have, like... This is why you don't have NSFW stuff on in public, by the way, guys.
Yeah.
But, that aside, yeah, this includes non-human enemies, such as wolves attempting to non-consensually mate with the player. The police seized her laptop 2 days ago, and this morning she has just received a request to attend an interview at the station. They advised her that the laptop will likely not be returned until mid-2025. Yeah, but if she complies with the investigation, it may expedite the process. It's mods for a goddamn video game, guys.
Yeah.
And I think... No.
Yeah, you could literally turn that off at any given point. I could turn off the mods for my version of Sonic Adventure 2 anytime I want.
Yep. Ba-da-dum!
And
I see something mysterious that way, so I'm gonna go up here first.
Okay,
Gate doesn't budge, so I'm gonna go back down to the mysterious way.
Okay, so... Anyway, then there's the red mage, which lets you gain access to the ability to use both black and white magic, but not to the highest extent of black and white magic, which is level 6. So, yeah, if you want a magic-oriented character, you're gonna probably need them to be on either or straight up black or white mage. Because a red mage is not going to cut it. Even though there are many things that I could say are like Final Fantasy 1, this isn't an OG Final Fantasy 1.
Captain called it macaroni. Yankee Doodle, keep it up. Yankee Doodle dandy. Mind the music and the stepping with the girls be handy.
Why are you singing Yankee Doodle?
Oh, because I just stuck a feather in my cap.
Okay, then. Moving on. And then we have the Pirate Asterisk, Yarg, which gives you access to a variety of brutal maneuvers, including one that lets you use other water-based magic. Like aside from Blizzard and whatnot, because Blizzard, according to who Bravely Default, is water-based, not ice-based for some reason. Don't ask me how that works.
Ice magic exists in the game?
No. Blizzard, 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 and Blizzaga are classified as...
But it exists in other games of this type, right?
Yes.
Huh.
Anyway, so then there is also the Performer Asterisk. Would you care to hazard a guess as to what RPG archetype this does?
Sing us a song, you're the piano man. Sing us a song tonight.
Well,
the
yes,
Bard.
Yes, it is the Bard,
Well,
but
all in
Alex,
variety. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to stop your forward momentum right there. It's not the typical Bard type.
Oh.
Think of it as a cringier version of Hatsune Miku.
Oh, so it's the idol class from certain games.
Yep. Yep, it is essentially an idol singer, or which boosts your allies and disorients
property
your...
of Dalv, that monster.
Which essentially gives boons to your allies while disorienting your enemies.
So, Kevin, we have a I need to get a new mic stand. So, we have a creature We have a creature here in a cloak whose name appears to be Dalv. Guess what Dalv is spelled backwards?
What is it spelled backwards, Alex?
Oh, it's something related to things in cloaks.
How is it spelled?
D-A-L-V.
Vlad? Seriously? No,
I expect you to be Dracula.
No.
A fucking vampire. There are bats all over the fucking place. Hey, hey. I expect that you're a vampire.
Do you realize I did repost the link,
What?
right?
Oh, yeah, no. See, back when I was having those issues with my data, I found out that, that the picture-in-picture was, like, doubling the data size of each stream, so I just stopped putting it in there.
Wow, that's weird.
Yeah.
Then again, I don't use Restream.
Well, no, I would not like Restream, but like Restream is fine. It's the picture-in-picture where like it's essentially downloading your stream and then restreaming it on my stream, so it just messes things up. And it's doing it at like full resolution. So, so Dalv is asking me if I've come to kill him, and then I'm gonna say what?
You know, the weird thing is
Snap
that...
back to reality. Whoops, there goes gravity.
Okay, so there is... Okay, so another asterisk that exists in Bravely Default is the Ninja class. In all honesty, I'm trying to remember what they really specialize in, because... I don't think I've seen a lot of people use that class. Because it kind of sucks.
Well, if the class sucks, I can totally see why they wouldn't want to use it.
Well, I mean, no. I mean, like, other people have likely found uses for it. But I'm talking, like, outside of, you know, the traditional wanting to complete the game and max out all the stuff. Of kind of shindig, because that's a common thing that people would use that job class for. Plus, you don't even need to use the skills in that job class. You just need to you just need like items and whatnot to grind off of creatures that'll give you lots of job points.
No, Dalv, I'm lost. Are you a giant bat? I was right.
Did you know that there's
bat.
Did you know that there's a fan-made Mario game where Mario fights Dracula?
Oh, cool.
And you know what Mario's response to Dracula's question of what were Lisa's last words?
What?
He responds, "Mamma mia!" And then he's like, sarcasm. And I'm like, okay, whatever you say, buddy. And, so getting back to things, ninjas are also, very much are very much knife-oriented characters. Then there is the, there's this class that lets you meld items together to make new ones that are very helpful on the game. So you can see quite a number of people making use of that class. Like, you could make friggin' mega elixirs with that. Which I'm sure you can understand why that's useful.
Yes.
Anywho, and then there is also the samurai class, which weaponizes katanas and is actually a fairly good class if you're good at reading the enemy AI and knowing when they'll attack, so that you could pull off a really good counterattack. So that's essentially what that class is all about. And two of the last few classes in the game are ones that I am sorely lost on. But then there is the Templar class, which is a more powerful variant of the Knight class, only it lets you utilize light magic. Utilize a light form of light magic. but it doesn't actually use it. But it's, you know, it's only something you can learn in that class.
Yeah.
And no, you don't have to worry about hooded assassins coming to get you. Especially ones that are Italian. I'm sure you can guess where what joke that's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Anywho, and then there is the Dark Knight class, which, if you've played Final Fantasy IV, you know what that does. I don't need to say much.
Makes you Batman.
I mean, sure, but it's also a class that has you sacrifice these health points to do damage. You know, like Cecil in Final Fantasy IV did. That bomb walked off the ledge like, I don't want to live on this planet anymore. Bye. Doesn't have nearly the same level of energy as you going, I don't want to live on this planet anymore. Cowabunga! And I sometimes still quote that for some reason. I don't know why. It's still clipped on your channel.
What is?
The I don't want to live on this planet anymore, cowabunga.
Oh, yeah.
As well as my reaction to it. Okay. And then there is the Conjurer class, which is somewhat similar to the Summoner, which is self-explanatory. However, you don't use these summons to attack enemies, but to enhance your own stats. Any questions? Depends on what I have told you so far.
Nope.
Do you feel I've explained it fairly well?
Think so.
Okay, good. And yes, there are benefits. And interestingly enough, as you go through the main story, you'll be able to unlock... You'll be able to gain like, extra support slots so that you could equip support abilities that you gain through leveling up your job classes. And you could also equip other job classes that you're not using at the moment, and as a side thing. And so you gain access to the skills that this character has access to normally with that job class. Oh, I forgot one more job class. There's the Vampire. Her job class, which essentially is the enemy skill materia from Final Fantasy VII. Among other abilities. Do you have a insatiable urge to suck some blood? I don't really know the answer to that question.
Dalv, do I look like Dr. Abraham Van Helsing to you?
You do. Hey, stupid monkey, go away. Oh, that's not the way I wanted to go. Thank you, game. And by the way, most of those job classes I mentioned are optional. But it is very helpful that you have them. So out of the ones I've described, which ones sound like they'd be very appealing to you?
The Dark Knight.
Well, that's the last mandatory one you'll be getting. So you won't be getting that until the start of the latter half of the game, which is part of the whole going through the worlds a couple times, Game's over again. Okay, so aside from you becoming Batman, which one sounds most appealing to you?
Sorry, right now I'm attempting and... Failing.
Failing to do what, exactly?
Failing. Succeed. Failing to not die.
I see.
Dalf, I'm not trying to fucking kill you. Although that might change soon. Okay. Patience wearing a little bit thin right now.
Well, Alex, now I feel like a colossal retard.
What happened?
So, I'm trying to get the 100 coins in this stage, and I failed to realize that the slide was always nearby. Come on, jump up, jump up, jump up, jump up. Yes.
Here we go!
Alright, now we do the slide proper. Okay, Mario. If you want to slide backwards, that's fine with me. You will get no judgment from me. But Ike will still say, hey, that you'll get no sympathy. Well, at least I got the 100 coin star, so that doesn't matter anymore. Anyway. Hey, let's do this.
Okay.
Let's do this a bit more professionally this time. Okay. I think this was the one... I think whenever I tried to do like a 100% run of Mario 64, Tall Mountains 100 coins was kind of what always eluded me. Because I could do every other game, other stages 100 coin mission, no problem, but up until I found out where the fucking slide was, I had no idea what to do with Tall Mountains 100 coins. Yep. Mario, get in the damn hole!
Get to the chopper, do it now! now he's looping attacks. I think that's a good sign.
Alright, now let's get the red coins for realsies.
No! How many other humans in a cowboy hat have you seen around here?
Mm.
Meet another human. So are you thinking that you're human, or have you met another human aside from me before?
I think they're thinking a lot of things, Alex.
God fucking damn it. The boss fight mercies sound like a punch in the ears. I mean, sure, I would Vampirus, I'm going to call you. I have to, move the corpses in the other room. Actually, leave your shoes on. The floor is dirty. I haven't swept since this morning. How dirty does your house get? Alright, so he is 110% a stereotypical vampire.
Ah, thank God.
Here we go!
It's a sponge covered in frosting. Sorry I didn't invite you, person I just met. Wave goodbye to Pops. Pops the balloon. Oh no. That's an unfortunate name. This chair is just like the other one, but better.
Ow.
It's a chair. Perfect for
Okay.
exciting activities like sitting. I like how they've managed to keep a lot of the old Undertale flavor in here. It would have been very easy for somebody to make something more wacky, we'll say.
Sorry.
Mamma mia!
I make up the colors.
Hego!
I'm Stairs, the Abyss.
Turnip plant is taking its time, I'll bet. Drawer is locked.
Okay, so in case you're wondering, what on earth is Stairs the Abyss? So, this was a joke that originated from Brain Scratch Com's playthrough of Sonic Forces, where Ryan ended up naming the wide-eyed derpy face his avatar of their of this whole shindig Stairs. Whereas just because he has this wide-eyed stare, wide-eyed 1,000-yard stare.
Oh, before I closed off the door to Snowden, something happened. I kept finding corn sitting on my doorstep. I wonder if Sans is the one putting the corn here. Maybe it's the way you're dressed. That's a terrible Patrick Star. Is mayonnaise an instrument?
Oh, Patrick, mayonnaise is not an instrument. Horseradish is not an instrument either.
What about peanut butter?
Is it bad that I could do both Patrick and Squidward?
I think you probably do a better Patrick than I do, and I think I do a better Squidward than you, so I could probably, if I could probably throw that voice up into my nose, and then you could be Patrick Star. 'Cause this one's on the house.
Well, don't forget, I
I
also
don't.
do a good impression of Paul Dobson's, or I think it's Brian Dobson, I want to say. Either one of the, I don't know, whoever did Skeletor in the 2002 show, that's kind of my Skeletor voice. Surrender? Do you have any idea as to who I am? I am Skeletor, Overlord of Evil. I don't like feeling nice. I like feeling evil.
I like feeling evil.
Yeah, and yours is a bit more closer to Alan Oppenheimer. Which, by the way,
Yes.
speaking of which, Alan Oppenheimer did actually play a small part in God of War 2. He was Prometheus.
Yes. Somebody also got Alan Oppenheimer to voice a bit for Papyrus in an Undertale fan animation.
Oh, I'm sure that was worth it for the fan.
And of course, there's every other YouTuber who does a terrible impression of him and pronounces Sans as Sans. His name is not Sans.
God. So, when did this headcanon of Papyrus sounding like Alan Oppenheimer start?
I don't know. This is just one of those things where,
It just happened.
or because he says the same kind of thing that
Skeletor
on
does.
Clover, that Skeletor does, and he kind of talks in a similar over-the-top fashion. People kind of adopted it, you know? Like they figured, oh hey, you know, this sounds pretty cool.
Hey,
Then
Siri.
everybody who dubbed over Undertale comics and made Undertale fan animations for the next 10 years. And this is Snowden, by the way. The original text of the sign has been crossed out and free forbidden. I believe if we are on the right track, we should be running into a Skelebro or two on our way to Snowden. Assuming, of course, that they've actually shown up at this point in the timeline. Has their father thrown himself into the nuclear reactor that is the heart of this world? I'm assuming that he's their father, I'm not sure.
I still hate the fact
Right.
that when Mark Hamill voiced Skeletor in He-Man and Revelation,
Mamma mia.
the Master of the Universe Revelations, I'm just like, this isn't fucking Skeletor, this is just Joker. This is just Joker and or Firelord Ozai from Avatar.
So Flowey he is assuming that my name is Gunhat. Now, should I tell him my real name, or should I tell him that my name is Gunhat? Because I did just tell, totally not Dracula, that my name is Clover.
Mamma mia.
So I think I'll just go ahead and be consistent, because it's easier than coming up with a lie.
Anyway, so yeah, it's always so disappointing to be reminded that Mark Hamill's Skeletor is just Joker and or Firelord Ozai. Which, by the way,
Snow, ice monsters, and possible risk of frostbite.
Which, by the way, Firelord
We're
Ozai,
at the Delta Rock.
in case you don't know, is the de facto main antagonist of Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Yes.
And we don't really see his face throughout seasons 1 and 2. Oh, he's essentially the Dr. Claw of Avatar: The Last Airbender. It gives him this air of mystery as to what he really looks like. Like, how much of a bastard is he truly?
Yeah, and then they had
M. Night Shyamalan ruin everything.
yeah. Shyamalan showed up, and he showed the Fire Lord's face in the first, what was it, 10 minutes of the film?
Right. And the worst part is there is a painting that Zuko there's a bit of a painting that Zuko carries around of Ozai, of himself with Ozai and his family, and the painting looks more accurate to the original Ozai than the movie's his interpretation of the character did.
Huh.
And I'm just like, how the
Igloo
fuck
noises.
does this happen? Like, sadly, the Fire Nation is still the most ethnically diverse nation in the movie. Whereas, like, in the show, the Fire Nation were strictly Japanese for the most part, but M. Night Shyamalan ended up changing them to being Indian.
That was very strange.
Wearing Japanese,
and he had,
wearing Japanese armor, which I'm like, doesn't make any sense.
The guy who played Zuko was alright, but then they had one of the guys from The Daily Show.
Yeah, that's Asif Manvi from The Daily Show.
Yeah.
He actually was pretty good at Zhao, despite, you know, the fact that he'd have to compete with the likes of freaking Jason Isaacs, things who voiced him in the show.
Yeah, he doesn't have the same kind of voice that Jason Isaacs has.
By the way, did I ever tell you how they got Jason Isaacs in Avatar: The Last Airbender?
Asking nicely?
Okay, so let me explain. They designed Admiral Zhao to look similar to Jason Isaacs' character in the movie The Patriot. So the people behind Avatar: The Last Airbender, or the creators, asked Andrea Romano to get somebody who sounded like Jason Isaacs. She got Jason Isaacs himself.
Nice.
She has those connections. Well, she had those connections. She's retired as a voice director, but you get the idea. It's kind of a shame the last thing she voice directed was Batman vs. Robin.
Yeah. While I kind of think that Quentin Tarantino gets a little bit sniffy about his legacy, so to speak, I can totally understand not wanting, like, the last thing you do to be, to be something lame, you know?
It wasn't really all that lame. It was just kind of, Like, it could have been...
Not to the heights of previous material.
No, absolutely not. Though, that's a case of the fact that while Romano did have a good casting for the most part in the DCAMU, Wes Gleason's casting for Slade in Justice League vs. Titans was better than her casting for him in Son of Batman, because Thomas Gibson did not do a good job.
Yep.
He sounded too... Especially considering the fact that that Ron Perlman had previously voiced Slade in Flashpoint Paradox.
Yeah.
And he still proved that he could do the role. Even if he were, like, more of a mercenary than a schemer. So, and funnily enough, Jason Isaacs, remember that Jason Isaacs was also Ra's al Ghul in Batman Under the Red Hood.
Not bad.
And I kind of like the idea of how Ra's had hired the Joker to do what he did to Jason, but the thing is that he wasn't expecting it to turn out like that. Which in hindsight, I'm like, Ra's, it's the fucking Joker.
It's the goddamn motherfucking Joker. How did you not see this coming, buddy?
You forget that this is the same eco-terrorist who can't see the fact that not everything is as bad as he thinks it is.
Reishi, or is it Ross? I'm never sure. They don't seem to pronounce your name consistently between words.
You know,
You should have known that if you hire me to do a job, I'm going to do it exponentially. Crazier than you expected me to.
So the Royal Guard used to have puzzles. Is that where, as their, means of trapping people?
Okay.
Martlet of the Underground Royal Guard. P.S. If on logs get stuck, just jiggle it a little.
Okay, so... So funnily enough, the character... You know how people associated the character of Sokka with, you know, being the comic relief?
Mamma mia!
Initially, Sokka was going to be characterized a bit similarly to how he is in the Shyamalan movie, weirdly enough.
Huh.
This was an instance where the actor cast as Sokka, Jake Pisana, could not do like a serious... It could not make him sound serious at all. Like, there were times where he did get serious, but it was more one of those, like we're surprised that he actually sounds pretty serious.
1000-degree nickel ball versus a giant metal versus a giant ice cube.
So Desana ended up basing Sokka's characterization off of how Desana normally does acting and whatnot, which is just like, you know, approach it to be somewhat comical. Also, that's how Sokka kind of became the funny man that we know him as in the show. You know, the kind of man. You know the kind of man that goes, "Go back to the Fire Nation." I love that line. I swear, when we get to Avatar, you're gonna love that part. Damn it! I've been trying to get this goddamn star for minutes on end.
Welcome to Super Mario 64. That's why I didn't 100% that game.
I could end it now, Alex, but I don't want to. I don't like half-assing the things that I do.
Never half-ass one thing. Never half-ass two things. Whole-ass one thing.
I wonder, what game should I replace? Hey, what should I play after this? Because I know I got.
Did you know that they're planning on making a spin-off series for Nick Offerman's character and the other guy from The Last of Us? Bill and Frank, I think, were their names.
No, cause... Oh, thank God. I finally got it, because I realized what I had to do, which was flip that damn switch. Alright, 30 more stars to go. I'm feeling optimistic. No, I already went in through this way. Alright. So should I do should I do Small Giant Island, or should I do or should I do the place that fluctuates in water, in the water level?
Water level.
You know what, I'll go any huge island. Pluck the piranha flower. By the way, this is the stage with the rematch with Koopa the Quick.
Okay.
Ah!
I definitely see some Deltarune influence here, because some of these monsters don't look Undertale-y. They look more Deltarune-y. Oops.
Oh! Fuck.
Must be a purpose here, right? Oh, that's very Deltarune-y.
Oh
I don't
god.
think you could do that in Undertale. And again, Undertale ran on a much simpler form of programming.
Mamma mia. By the way, Tiny Huge Island is actually the debut of the giant Goombas. There's a YouTuber on the Party Crashers who ends up constantly referring to the most regular Mario enemies as Goombas. Which I'm like, that's... Those aren't Goombas.
Yeah, those are too green to be Goombas. Fucking Goomba.
I mean,
Maybe.
he also refers to Shy Guys as Goombas. He's like, get away from me, you fucking Goomba.
This is very Sonic the Hedgehog. One perk says, hey, what's going on? I'm playing Undertale Yellow, that's what's happening. Nobody of note, you know? Well, your Mega Drive soundtrack would suggest otherwise, just the best darn salesman ever. You know what? I believe, Spampton, G. Spampton, would, That's a Michael Jackson sample, holy shit. I'm Mo. Yeah, Spampton has you. No, I was just trying to figure out how to get out of here. Sure. Liquids are so last season, solids are the... You want to be fresh and revolutionary? Solids that used to be liquids. So, ice.
So what happens when you mix fire with ice?
Hot chocolate pop.
No. First we get water. Then we get boiling water. And then, finally, evaporation. That's a joke from Some Call Me Johnny's initial response to the announcement of Sonic Boom Fire and Ice.
Hot pop, cold pop, lukewarm pop. Okay.
Which, by the way, Sonic Boom Fire and Ice is a continuation of the 3DS as parts of Sonic Boom.
Yeah, I remember,
And the worst part is the 3DS games are the only ones that could be considered good.
That is quite unfortunate.
I And meanwhile, the best thing about that continuity is still the TV show.
Yeah. That's not saying much.
I love one of my favorite episodes of that show is actually the episode where Eggman tries to get Sonic to eat a cookie that would turn him into a like-minded individual. Also, but then Sonic's friends each end up getting a hold of the cookie. He's instead, and let's just say it's interesting seeing 5 people that act like Eggman in the same room together. And meanwhile, Knuckles is just Knuckles. Actually, I'm an evil mastermind of average intelligence. Like, Knuckles is the funniest thing in that show, even if he's mischaracterized as a dumbass. I got to the tip.
No cone. Why are you throwing metaphors for testicles at me? Because it looks like you're throwing balls at me. You threw cherries at me.
Rematch with Koopa the Quick. Not exactly fond of this particular mission. For obvious reasons, Alex.
Yeah. I don't like that race much.
Because here's the thing. The first race with Koopa the Quick is fine, and then you compound that with the fact that not only is he faster this time around, but you also have to deal with the fucking wind.
Mail call.
And there's that finish line. Ow! Oh, and also these fucking iron balls. Ah! God damn it. And I'm dead. Thanks a lot, game. I really appreciate
Mamma
it.
mia!
Let's try this again with more feeling and emotion than the average Tara Reid performance.
Remember when she tried to be a movie star?
I remember a lot of things, Alex. That's not one of those.
Do you remember when she was in the Alone in the Dark movie with Christian Slater?
Sadly, yes. You know, weirdly enough, I'm not Who do you think was better as Deadshot, Slater or Neil McDonough?
Oh, I gotta go Neil McDonough. Neil McDonough's always great. Yeah.
A lot of people prefer Slater.
Christian Slater was good. I think Neil McDonough... Come, new friend, right here to our space. Whether you roam or stay in one place, we hope you have friends with fun letters to send and always a smile on your face. Here's to more mail without any stress. Hope to see you again. The UGPS. I was wondering if you were going to resolve that rhyme scheme. So how do I... There we go.
There's that bastard.
So yeah, here's the thing. I like Neil McDonough as an actor. Regardless of how big or small the role, he always does pretty good in the role. Oh, and he was a gem amongst bullshit in that season of Arrow where he played Damien Dark.
Speaking of Damien, guess which Damien he voiced in Injustice?
Wayne?
Yep.
He's way too old to do that.
Yeah, and Damien by that point is supposed to be 18.
Neil McDonough's a great actor, but that is a bad casting choice.
And I cleared the Koopa the Quick challenge first try.
That's like if I cast, like, Liam Neeson to do the voice of like, I don't know, like young Dick Grayson.
I don't know who you are.
Actually, you know what? I take that back. I totally want to hear. It's fucking Cuphead. Kevin, take a look at the screen. It's fucking Cuphead.
Oh, good lord.
Refill, the boss of this world-renowned gang, the Shufflers. Wait, where did my name go? Are we reusing the fucking Flowey code again? I wasn't attempting to attack you. Oh, so they are literally going to play a shell game with me. I'll sit here blocking you for all eternity. Okay? Sure. Fine. Yes. Ah! Damn it. Fucked it up. Nice. Okay.
You know...
Right, right, left, left. Right, left.
You know, Alex, I may not have much against,
Right, left, or left.
You know, the weird thing is, it's like I have seen...
Yes! I got it.
I've seen snippets of Tyler Hoechlin's performance as Sephiroth in, the Crisis Core re-release, and I'm like, you're not really impressing me, hey, Mr. Hoechlin.
Yeah, it's not as good as George Newbern.
Newbern has way more charisma.
And again, George Newbern was also a better Superman, so...
Yes.
I want not to take anything away from Tyler Hoechlin.
No.
He was the only decent part of Crisis. Him and Brandon Routh were the only decent parts of Crisis, and he was the only good part of the Supergirl show. And that, you know, the Superman and Lois show is pretty good. But
yeah.
It's one of those shows where it's like head and shoulders above its fucking competition. But its competition is everything else on the CW, so that's not saying much.
Yeah. You know? Okay, so apparently it turns out there's somebody ended up getting an interview with somebody and he's saying like, oh, Superman Legacy is gonna have like a humorous Superman and whatnot, and I'm like,
okay, so that's code for James Gunn is going to insert shitty jokes everywhere he goes.
Yeah, but then people will get on the case saying like, oh, James Gunn lives rent-free in your head, and yada yada.
James Gunn is currently in charge of one of the biggest franchises in the world. That's kind of going to happen. People did the same thing to Zack Snyder.
Yeah, and...
People do the same thing to, like, Joe Quesada and everybody who ruins comics and things like that.
Yeah.
And like whether you ruin comics or whether you're in charge of good ones,
People are gonna...
People are gonna bring you out.
Yep. Yep, so... For those who say, hey, rent-free... Hey, maybe you should stop talking about Zack Snyder. Or just as a helpful suggestion, so you don't look as stupid. Anywho. Oh, so it's like people are saying that James Gunn is just gonna be like doing the whole
with the fact that he assembled a fucking ensemble cast for his
first
movie of this franchise.
First movie and a solo movie at that.
Yeah. It
Why
kind of lends credibility to the thought that something crazy is going to be going on, that he's trying to reuse the formula that he works into every goddamn movie.
People are like, oh, we love that formula. Oh.
Okay.
And you people are part of why this universe is going to flop so hard.
Part of the reason why the MCU went downhill, part of the reason why Taika Waititi got a total of 2 movies, is when he should have been canned after 1, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Say whatever you want about Ragnarok, it's not the way forward for fucking Thor.
So, then they have... I really will never understand why James Gunn decided to miscast...
I've had 13 cups of coffee this morning. Oh, really?
As Nathan Fillion, and by casting him as Guy Gardner.
Hello.
Why not? Why couldn't they just have him be Hal Jordan?
You know what I'll bet? They've got some really retarded plan that's not actually going to get executed, and they're hoping to get somebody else as Hal Jordan so they can keep making that Green Lantern show that hasn't been made for approximately 13 years.
Hi, Mason.
Do you remember that? Do you remember how they had this Green Lantern Corps TV show in the works since, basically since the Green Lantern movie came out? And...
No, but I feel like...
Yeah.
I feel like the only thing that's going to help me get through this right now is the sounds of Mason's pussy.
Hey Alex, what do you think of BitChute?
Well, it's a decent concept for a platform, but it's kind of shitty in terms of, service.
Yeah.
What other video hosting sites would you recommend? I might also put my too.
Try Rumble.
Oh yeah, Kevin, I got Krusty the Clown to sing one of your favorite Creed songs.
Okay, I'll be right back.
Alright.
I don't know if you saw that yet, Kevin.
I don't think I might.
The Clown singing
Yeah,
Arms Wide Open.
Neat.
And I also had Frollo sing that song from the Notre Dame de Paris Broadway play. Surprised nobody had done that one yet. Do you have any AI voice-related questions for me?
Nah, not really.
Like, I didn't know if you were curious on how I make my videos, how the voices are made.
Nah, I didn't. Nah, not really.
So you might have noticed that in Supergirl Season 1, Superman never actually showed his face on screen. God fucking damn it. Superman never actually showed his face on screen. And, that's...
coming up, isn't it?
So yeah, so the show never showed Superman's face. And that's partially because they weren't allowed to cast a Superman actor. And the reason why was because Warner Brothers still had that really stupid thing in place where they wouldn't allow a character to show up in one project if they were using them in a different one, which is part of the reason why Supergirl didn't show up in the DCEU until the TV show was canceled, part of the reason why you never had Batman showing up in the Arrowverse, even though they kept mentioning him fucking constantly. Part of the reason why they made a Batwoman show instead of a Batman show. Part of the reason why Gotham never had Bruce in the goddamn Batsuit until the very last season. And part of the reason why,
Want to see it?
Huh?
We got snow. Do you guys want to see it?
No.
Sure. Yeah, there's snow all over the country right now. But,
Somehow.
So you got super seed.
Mamma mia!
yeah, yeah, so because they were working on Superman projects at the time, they weren't allowed to cast Superman, they weren't allowed to have Superman in any live-action TV show, even though that wasn't in the same universe. Although they kind of wanted you to think it was in the same universe because for the original airings of the show, they had a 3D model and a prop of Henry Cavill's suit. Yeah. So that...
Kevin.
Cooler full of honey.
Kevin.
Yeah.
I can hear the Ice Cavern music playing in my head right now.
Every time
Sometimes it's the Hellfire.
Every time
Sometimes it's the Hellfire Peak song for Banjo-Tooie.
Every time I so much as see snow, I just get a little unpleasant to be around. You can stop showing me, Mason.
Alright. Alright. Alright.
Why snow serious?
Back on
Please.
camera.
Please, no. I'm not in the mood for that, for those kinds of jokes.
I'm sorry.
No, you're not.
But, well, I am. But...
you don't like snow jokes?
No, I don't like snow because that means for me, I gotta do a little more goddamn work in shoveling
like
the damn thing.
I don't like snow. It's cold and wet and irritating, and it gets everywhere.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because I'm freezing, and I'm a little intoxicated, so...
Well, anyways, yeah, so they weren't allowed to use Superman on the Supergirl TV show because they were still developing Superman movies. Then, they canned all of their Superman movies and allowed them to use Superman in the Supergirl show. And they basically just changed all of their rules, and basically they kind of allowed people to do whatever, unless of course you were planning on making things, because there's weird stuff going on right now, because Joker isn't connected to any of the other stuff, and they've got Harley Quinn in that, but Harley Quinn is also going to be appearing in other Batman live-action projects as, with, Margot Robbie playing her.
God damn it. I'm losing more lives on this damn level.
Damn it.
Okay, so...
So I'll bet you that's what's going on. They're probably not allowed to use Hal Jordan.
Even though Hal Jordan hasn't been used in anything since the since the Green Lantern Beware My Power movie where he was killed off.
Literally has not been used in any live-action material since 2011.
I swear to fucking God.
They were still working on a fucking sequel to that movie as recently as, like, 5-6 years ago, I think. It's just... Management's probably just gonna be doing absolute nonsense at Warner Brothers. If you're wondering why I'm not reading off many news topics at the moment, it's partially because, whenever I click off of the game, it minimizes itself.
Alright, I'll do it. Let's go to news and topic suggestions. Game designer Janelle J.K. Hayes has passed away, age 67. Which they developed The Bard's Tale, Thief of Fate. Hayes, well, is converting Pac-Man and Donkey Kong for the ColecoVision home console, Dungeon Dragons modules, Dark Tower, and Cavern and Thracia for Judge's Guild. Alright. And she worked on Age of Empires series, Quake 2, and Quake 3 Arena. So
Pretty
she's...
impressive resume there.
Yep.
Why did I just stop randomly? 10 steps to the west, second sign.
Mamma mia!
I got coffee beans.
Oh yeah, there's that bit of news.
Puzzle was on a higher plane. Must be
Ice-T
very good at
on
guessing.
Ice-T on why EA hasn't brought back the Def Jam fighting series.
Well, aside from the fact that Def Jam's last game was kind of bad, it's mostly down to the fact that EA is EA.
Yeah, so we don't really need much explanation on that.
Although one of the things is that the last time they brought back Def Jam, and they kind of fucked up and they didn't pay anybody.
Yeah, and Ice-T was one of those people. They didn't bother paying.
Yep.
So, yeah. Moral of the story, EA sucks.
In other news, crime wave in Gotham, water wet.
People die when they are killed. Anywho. Let's see. Hyperkin's portable Genesis Mega Drive looks like a Nintendo Switch.
Interesting. I hope it's better than the other portable Mega Drive things that they've created. Well, not Hyperkin. Hyperkin hasn't done the others, I don't think. What guard? Oh, that... Oh, the bird.
So yeah, that seems like it's interesting. And then Bubsy rough prototype pitch to Atari breaks cover or online.
Like an early version of the original Bubsy?
I think. I want to say yes.
Is this a guard station? This looks like a guard station.
So yeah, back in October 2023, Atari CEO Wade Rosen and told Minmax that it was open to pitches for a new Bubsy game, leading a small number of Indian developers to express
Oh.
interest in calling the company's bluff. Among these was the Frog Nimble developer John D., who has now begun sharing some footage from on the rough Unity prototype that they hobbled together to pitch to the company after Atari failed to get back to
Okay,
them.
Unity.
The first video John D. shared features Bubsy standing on a yellow brick road with a yarn ball in front of him and a treasure chest positioned slightly behind, and looks super lovely, featuring a nice depth of field effect and an excellent new design for the titular Bobcat. According to John D., their goal while modeling this new take on the character was to stay close to the original SNES Bubsy design, with a couple of proportion edits for 3D. Sadly, though, the fact that Atari never got back to him suggests it may not have been in the direction they wanted to take the Bobcat. I have to ask, why would you want another one of these?
You know, it's not impossible for them to make a better Bubsy game, you know? But, because... Like,
Also,
it,
Game
like
Shark is
just
back from the
make a
dead.
make a decent, platforming game with a orange Bobcat with an exclamation mark on his chest.
Why not resurface Mr. Nuts?
Why not Cool Spot?
What's wrong with Mr. Nuts?
I don't have any idea what Mr. Nuts is.
It's a squirrel.
Of course he is.
Let's see. So yeah, Game Shark is back from the dead, but as AI.
That's, yeah. That headline alone was, kind of alarming to me.
Yeah. Yeah, and the image they chose is not helping. And with that,
Is it an AI's representation of what a Game Shark would be?
something like that, yes.
Oh, god damn it.
Here we go!
So yeah, moving on from that. Dead by Daylight
Do
announces...
they have an explanation as to what that does?
I don't think so. Anywho, Dead by Daylight announces Alan Wake DLC chapter.
Okay, then. Not sure I give a shit, because it's Dead by Daylight, and
Yeah.
Alan Wake was never my favorite game.
Also, Johnny Somali found guilty and effectively banned from Japan. Good.
Awesome.
Nobody wanted that fucker to stay there. And Hogwarts Legacy sells over 22 million copies. In other news, okay, I just got killed by a Cheep Cheep.
Mamma mia!
In other news, the left-wingers who trashed this game are coping and or seething.
Yeah. Almost like Twitter isn't a real place, like Dave Chappelle once said. By the way, have you seen Dave Chappelle's new stand-up special?
Nope.
It's really good. And the usual suspects complained about it because, of course, they did.
No surprise there.
Excuse me?
And missing girl found after she signs into World of Warcraft from kidnapper's house. I have to admit, kind of an interesting way to let people know where you are. I mean, who's gonna suspect a kid playing in WoW? Alright.
Yep.
Let me go into the article.
Holy shit. Okay.
A missing girl was found earlier this month after the FBI discovered her World of Warcraft account had been accessed at an address 1,000 miles away. Thomas Ebersol was arrested at his house in Dunedin, in Florida on January 3rd. Ebersol had met a 16-year-old girl from Ohio on the popular MMORPG and had taken her from her home in late December. Reportedly, Ebersol denied knowing the girl at first, but after being caught, began to explain and that he was in a romantic relationship with the girl and had planned to keep her at his house until they could be married. Investigators had found the missing teen after they discovered her World of Warcraft account had been accessed from somewhere in Florida, approximately 1,000 miles away from her home in Ohio. Ebersol faces felony charges and is reportedly being held on a $6,000 bail. And of course, their promotion in the latest. This expansion of World of Warcraft, like anybody gives a shit.
Why? Hang on. What's the outlet who reported on this?
Niche Gamer.
I thought, not that I'm gonna give them a whole lot of credit, but like I would have thought that Niche Gamer would have been like less prone to doing things like that, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Mostly because, Activision Blizzard is one of the worst companies on the face of the entire planet.
Yeah.
Oh, god damn it.
Anywho, Smite 2 has been announced.
Okay.
Not that anyone's gonna play that. So, yeah. And now Niche Gamer has reported on another thing. One Piece animator has been attacked on social media over a bathing scene involving in the character of Bonnie Jewelry Bonnie from One Piece. He's who, in context, was a child whose devil fruit had turned her into a full-grown woman.
Well, it allows her to, like, age and de-age, basically.
And I'm like, why is this a thing?
No clue. They don't really, you know, quite frankly, the fact that anybody's complaining about it is kind of an issue. You know, like, just you do realize that you have the power to not give a shit, right?
Yeah, you have the power to also not watch or read One Piece.
Like, if you think it's such a big problem,
And the thing is, the only reason
you
I
don't
kind
have to read it.
and the only reason I was kind of on this case is just like, oh good god. This, I'm like,
Wow,
like,
she has a lot of fucking health.
and I'm like, if Seamus decides to include Jewelry Bonnie in the waifu tier list, he is no longer allowed to complain about why I suggested Nelliel on there, because Nelliel's situation is the exact opposite. Literally the exact opposite. Like, she was an adult
What
who
about,
was...
what's her name from Invincible?
Monster Girl?
Yeah, Monster Girl.
Yeah, it was like, after a while, he couldn't come up with a way to properly explain why, after a while, she had to kind of just stop being Monster Woman and just decided to go with Monster Girl.
Yeah.
Just because her, power de-ages her. Or the more often she uses it. Or the more
Basically nothing to her, even when you hit it critical.
And...
By the way, I was getting sick of this, so I just looked up a guide, and apparently you can beat Martlet by going between attacking and not attacking. And it confuses her.
So, yeah. Also, Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid fan fixes a scene with AI. A very convincing AI, which also matches the lip flaps, and one Miss Jamie Markey is currently seething with anger right now, and I'm all for that.
Yeah. See, there is a way. I don't like the idea of voice actors being completely replaced by AI.
Yeah,
but here's the thing. If you do a bad job, a machine will do it for you, that can do it for you better, is gonna be infinitely preferable to create the end result. It's like how like, I've seen people complain about, like, oh, this thing seems like it was written by AI, but, like, you can compare... I'd love to see what, like, an AI that got fed the scripts for Star Wars episodes 1 through 6 plus the Clone Wars would come up with for a sequel trilogy. Because I have no doubt in my mind that whatever it comes up with would be would be infinitely better than what we wound up with, you know?
And a Portal 62 fan demake has been taken down at the request
Portal
of
64,
Valve.
yeah. Yeah, Valve has had some uncomfortable encounters with fan-made games based on stuff they own.
Oh.
Have you ever heard of Hunt Down the Freeman?
Nope.
Oh, okay, so there are a couple of videos I think you should, there are a couple of videos you should look into about this. There's a video made by I Hate Everything about it, where he talks about the game, and then there's a video by Yahtzee Croshaw, which is much shorter and goes into arguably more of the actual gameplay and why it's a problem. And then there's a Just Bad Games episode about it, which is fucking great. Just, like, watch all 3 of those videos in that order, and the gist of it is that it's it's a game where you're supposed to play as this soldier who is, the soldier that's a Deltarune attack. You're using code from fucking Jeffel. I'm having PTSD flashbacks now. But anyways, okay, so yeah. So it's set between Half-Life 1 and 2, where you play as one of the soldiers from Half-Life 1, and you're basically supposed to hunt down Gordon Freeman, the protagonist of the Half-Life games. More specifically, the protagonist of Half-Life 1, Half-Life 2, Half-Life 2 Episode 1 and 2. Not Blue Shift, not Opposing Force. Excuse me, Blue Shift is Barney, Opposing Force is one of the soldiers, and yeah, Blue Shift is Barney, Opposing Force is the soldier, and then, of course, Alex, you play as Alex. And then, it's basically, a fan game made in the Source engine that Valve allowed to be sold on the Steam store, and it's immensely broken. It's bad beyond belief. Like, so one of the reasons I Hate Everything made a video about it is because he's in the game. Like, the developers of the game were fans of his and asked him to voice a character, and so they asked him, hey, can you do these lines? And he did it in an American accent, and then they said, it was like, oh yeah, well, we're going back and redoing some stuff. Can you do some more lines in your regular voice? And so they didn't re-record all of the dialogue. So I Hate Everything. Alex is his name, by the way. Yeah, Alex from I Hate Everything. There are a lot of people in this world named Alex. Says he goes from sounding like he normally does, where he sounds kind of like this, to sounding more like this, with a slightly exaggerated American accent. And so it's a bad game all around, and Valve gave it their seal of approval. There's been a couple of people who signed up for developers licenses to get access to Valve's developers repository. They were saying they were going to make like Portal mods or whatever, Portal and Left 4 Dead mods and things like that. And what they wound up doing was just stealing a bunch of code and assets from Valve. And so they've been kind of burned on dealing with shit like this, so they, I can kind of understand why they don't want a commercial product made by somebody else based on something that they made. Although I am kind of disappointed I wasn't able to get a copy of the game before the takedown happened. I'm sure there's a digital version out there somewhere I can find.
Anyway, Japanese fans are shocked by Street Fighter VI's ugly Yor Forger.
Oh, God. And the weirdest thing is that they didn't have a Yor costume for Chun-Li.
Remember, we're not talking about Street Fighter Chun-Li. We are talking about Fortnite Chun-Li. I really don't understand why it's that model specifically.
I don't know. Probably more people play Fortnite than they do, Street Fighter. So, speaking of Fortnite, though, yeah, so they have that costume thing in, Street Fighter 6. And it looks okay at the absolute best. And then Capcom started installing this DRM from some company. Hang on, I'm gonna Google this real quick. Capcom DRM. Enigma. Yes. Hello.
Hey, Jarrett.
Hello.
How you doing, Jarrett?
Are you doing much better?
Yeah, doing all right. Doing a lot better.
I
Sorry
really
for
do.
my outburst.
Yeah, I really. Yeah, we're sorry we forced you to stay there.
No, you're fine. I mean, honestly,
Yeah,
I should have just said, hey, I'm having issues. Peace.
Yeah, hey, man.
Yeah. We were telling you.
Whenever there's a problem, like if you feel like you really just can't handle doing something, just bow out. Because I've had times where I can't, if I can't stay awake, or if I can't speak right, or if I just don't feel like it, I've had to bow out for the night. Like Gizmo had to bow out tonight because his microphone and his headphones are fucking around on him, and for some reason,
shit.
and they just won't stay. Please tell me she's actually going to jump on the raft with me. You can fly. I thought you could fly. Yeah, what? Please fly over and help me. I don't know how to steer this thing. So yeah, anyways, so
Yeah, we just got finished talking about the fact that Japanese fans of Street Fighter 6 were shocked by the ugly Yor Forger from Spy Family.
Huh.
I refuse to pronounce the X in there because my sisters keep badgering me about that. Anywho, Final Fantasy.
You know what I'd do in that circumstance? Just pronounce it all as one thing: Spike's family.
Spike's family.
Anyway, Final Fantasy.
So speaking of Capcom, I want to bring up that Capcom added a DRM platform called Enigma DRM, which appears to be run by some kind of it's either Russian or Chinese, English as a second language people on their website. Talking about like they're basically pulling, like, people got on their forums and started asking, like, hey, why is this thing showing up as a virus on my computer? Why is it? Because it was showing up as, like, Windows Defender was showing up and saying like hey, I'm getting virus notifications from Resident Evil Revelations and Mega Man ZX Collection and things like that. Okay, God damn it, now I have to look up what the fucking answers are.
And they were doing so good, and yet they had to pull this bullshit.
Yep.
Yeah, so they added a bunch, they added the DRM to a bunch of characters, and it's, sorry, I'm scrolling through here and trying to find,
Final Fantasy 14 now including playable female furries, which I'm like, yeah, that's certainly gonna draw people in. No, it's not.
Dialogue. There's the fucking dialogue.
Dialogue. Dialogue.
Dialogue.
Sorry, yeah, just, yeah. So they've, what the hell?
And Square quietly removes recruitment page bragging about censorship. Seems awful suspicious if you ask me.
Huh.
Well, I mean, Square
Whatever.
was kind of, yeah.
I'm gonna go with 2.
Sounds like
Square-
companies are doing any goodwill, undoing any goodwill with the consumer.
Mamma mia!
I am half tempted to just every time I fall off in Mario 64, all I can
Royal
hear
Scientist. I wonder if that's going to be an old friend.
all I can hear now in my head is "Dream On" by Aerosmith.
Dream on, dream yourself a dream come true. Auditory ambiance. Two there, a 3, 2.15, 23. I don't appreciate you speaking for me.
Arma 3 used as fake Yemen war footage in Houthi propaganda.
It's fucking amazing. Because people keep using footage from, like, Arma 3, Arma 2, who, fucking World of Tanks, Battlefield, was it Battlefield 4? I think? People have used, like, video game footage from several games as an attempt for propaganda footage, and never have I ever been happier that Twitter community notes exist, because those guys say, this is from Arma 2, or this is from Arma 3, rather, or in this case, this is from Arma 3, or this is from Battlefield. Go fuck yourself.
Alright. The Transylvania Adventure of Simon's Quest is basically a new Castlevania. A RetroRare has revealed that it is working on a Castlevania-style title called The Transylvania Adventure of Simon Quest. And it's coming to all major platforms next year, clearly inspired by Castlevania 2 Simon's Quest. The game boasts
Well,
an
hey,
NES-like aesthetic, right
I'm
down to the
happy.
fact the main sprite looks very much like Simon Belmont.
I'm happy that we're actually getting some kind of Castlevania-y thing.
As
And it doesn't matter how good or bad... Ow!
Konami
It doesn't matter how good or bad it is, because it's not a mainline franchise game, and guess what?
Konami
They
is
haven't
doing
actually
nothing.
been using a...
Exactly.
Why do you think we've been getting the Netflix show?
They haven't been doing anything remotely decent with the series in fucking years.
Anybody remember erotic violence?
You know what? If they had released a Castlevania porn game, it at least would have been something. As it was just a sexy pachinko game.
Well, I guess that's a positive because you can play pachinko with one hand.
Yep. And then we have Konami announces Rocket Knight Adventures and Felix the Cat Retro Collections.
Okay,
Wait a
then.
minute, Felix? Yes!
Was that Konami?
Yes.
Huh, this is an unusual area. We haven't seen this in Undertale. Place made almost entirely out of new assets. Kudos.
Wait a minute. Oh, yeah, that's right. Because Konami bought Hudson and Sunsoft. Well, Hudson, at least. I don't know about Sunsoft.
Right.
Swippity swap, I was taking a bath.
And Rare's Sega Sonic arcade game has been dumped and preserved.
Good. Although I would have sworn that we had ROMs of it somehow.
Prior.
Maybe it wasn't a good dump. It's good to
Yeah.
get a new dump of
And
an
last
arcade ROM every now and
Last but
again.
not least, engage Leisure Suit Larry that cost us Nokia 1.4 million was canned for being too raunchy.
What? What?
What did they
A
expect?
Leisure Suit Larry game was canned for being too raunchy.
Apparently.
Do they not know what the series is about?
Okay, so the plot of the first game is for Larry to lose his virginity and not catch an STD, and then like I don't.
I need to play the
you
classics.
You fuck two girls and a sex doll in that game. That's the first game.
Yeah.
And it only gets wackier from there.
I have seen you play through the entire first game, and I'm like, what the fuck is
Yes,
this?
at some point in time, I might actually be able to figure out what the God damn it, game. I might actually be able to figure out what the hell went wrong with our recording of that and be able to fix it. But
if you need a poor bastard to play Magna Cum Laude, I can volunteer.
oh, magna cum laude.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the end of the news topic suggestions for this week.
Our box office bust. If I can find a copy in the wild.
I will say, just to follow up on that thing that we had about Resident Evil, Capcom is rolling back the Enigma DRM, but that's mostly just because they've gotten such a massive blowback about it. Here's the mail, it never fails. It makes me wanna wag my tail. When it comes, I wanna wail. Mail!
Why are you singing Blue's Clues?
Because it's mail time, Kevin.
No, it's not.
It is in this game. I got a spam letter. If you're reading this, this means you've had the pleasure of meeting me. I'll make this snappy, you're not gonna believe it. I'm selling a new premium product for half off! I know what you're saying, I would gladly pay full price for your products. I appreciate that, I really do, but this ain't the time for high prices. Just find my stand and I'll give you the juicy details. Huh? Where's my stand? I don't even know myself, excuse me. Should probably go find that. Good luck, Mo.
Gotta balance on this beam just...
If you're a foxy monster looking for love, look no further than yours truly. I'm an elite athlete with more G than I know what to do with. My IQ is so large I could shatter the barrier just by staring at it. Regrets? My only regret in life is that I don't own a dumbbell heavier than 100 kilograms. I could go on for eons, but enough about me. Write your number here and send the letter back if you want your world changed. Is it possible for me to do that? Can I do that? No. Okay. That's hilarious, though. Thank you, game.
No.
Oh boy. This looks tense.
What looks tense?
Oh, the Mario 64 platforming.
Yep. And the worst part is, it's like,
Okay.
I'm using a controller that is not stiff as hell when it comes to the control stick.
Alert. Warning sign ahead.
But I'm working with stiff
Warning.
as fuck
Danger sign ahead.
controls.
Danger. Sandstorm ahead. Take cover.
So when are we to expect? And I believe
Well, you guys
next...
are providing. You guys are providing the sandstorm, so. Did I not take cover?
So Jared, I posted on Twitter, or does anybody have that one? Who has that one Teen Titans clip, just to get on that stupid meme?
Oh, that whole bullshit.
Yeah. Because I'm curious to see who's actually going to respond. Because I know Teen Titans
That's a
is
weird-looking
still...
creature down there.
I know Teen Titans is still searched to this day. I mean, in hell. Oh, the series has gotten into its 20th anniversary last year.
I'm not up to anything suspicious, okay? There's no treasure behind this wall, okay? Don't rat me out, okay?
Okay.
Did you post it under your account or in the crew?
What? No, under my account.
Oh, okay.
So you gotta go onto my Twitter.
Gotcha.
I posted the link in Shameless Plugs.
Oh, that'd be easier to... yeah.
God damn it.
Let's see. Who has that one Teen Titans video?
It's either clip or video.
No. I was in cover, goddammit.
Now I'm fighting the Wiggler.
It appears that the new Ultimate Spider-Man comic is doing very well. Almost as if giving people what they ask for is a way to sell comics and make people not hate your guts.
Yeah, Tom Taylor. You should take notes.
Yeah. What's that? Peter and Mary Jane in together? Shock and horror. Joe Quesada would be very disappointed.
Here we go!
Alright, so we're done with Tiny Huge Island. Now we're going to
I can't
the wet, dry world.
sandstorm this sandstorm.
Shocking arrow lifts. And you know, Jared, the worst part is that the one Teen Titans clip could apply to either the 2003 show Teen Titans Go or the DC AMU films.
Yeah, there's a lot of ground to cover.
Yep. Here we go! So the gimmick for Wet Dry World is that the water level upon entry increases and decreases, or decreases depending on which part of the painting you enter into.
I didn't know that.
Like if you enter in from the very bottom, the water level is gonna practically be bone dry. But if you enter in from the top, then the whole place is gonna be flooded.
Right. Oh, and keep in mind, the version I'm playing Mario 64 on is the Super Mario 3D All-Stars. Oh.
So we get at high quality variants of low poly Mario. Oh god, no. No, you fucker.
Yes, the Mario All-Stars, where Nintendo was like, haha, fuck you after March 31st. They can still suck ass because of that.
Yeah. You will not find me disagreeing with you on that one.
Like, Nintendo has done a number of things that have made me go, shut up and take my money. And then there are other times where they're, like, huge douchebags. Hey, Mr. Machine. I don't need you. I have this thing that milk ads have insisted it exists. A triple jump? Damn it. It didn't work.
Not to mention they killed Mario 35.
Yep. It's a me, a Mario. Oh. I still find it funny that Assassin's Creed 2 is just like, don't you recognize me? It's a me, Mario.
So Dolph Lundgren has said that the final cut of Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom is radically different to the original version supervised by James Wan. I don't know what that means in terms of, you know...
Not that I would care to watch it either way, because Amber Turd is still in it.
Fuck her.
Yes.
People be like, oh, but if you want to be a real, but is one actress really enough to put you off from this? Since this is I'm like, yes, very much so.
Same shit with Brie Larson. I don't care for her.
Brie Larson is at the very least not an abuser. At least as far as I know, she's just a cunt.
You know what? Yeah. That is actually a good point. She's the lesser of two evils.
Yeah, and she at least actually has this thing called acting under her belt.
Also a good point.
Excuse me. I mean, Amber Heard does a really good job at acting like she's not a complete piece of shit.
That doesn't change the fact that she is one.
No, I know.
People have made jokes about... What was that?
My soundboard.
Free water. So, as per TMZ, Hulk Hogan has apparently helped rescue a woman who was involved in a bad car accident while wearing his NWO shirt.
Hey?
Iced tea is the sequel to water. The tea doesn't have ice in it. It started as a glass of ice and it melted. You know, I'm not gonna bother with this right now. Grab some later.
Oh, jeez. You know, Wet Dry World is actually one of the easier places to do the 100 coin mission, just because of how many options you have for this. And I think after this, I'll be done. After this world, I'll be done with the second floor, and then I'll be able to move on to the third floor. And since I have more than 70 stars, I don't have to deal with that endless staircase. So sorry, I can't show that off. Well, Polnareff, I hope you have 70 stars.
Here we go.
The joke should have worked in that TFS video, but it just didn't.
Oh, god damn it.
Like,
also didn't they remove the backwards long jump?
Yes, they did in this version. And as I was saying, there was this really... There was this
Once I can find a good download for it, I'm gonna send you the PC port of Mario 64. Now, god damn it.
So...
Careful, Nintendo might be listening.
Oh, they can't do shit about it.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay, so for context's sake, when JoJo Part 3 had finally gotten to, in the anime adaptation by David Productions, had finally gotten to showing off Dio's power and whatnot, which for the world it was just kind of this mind fuckery where he keeps putting Polnareff down lower on the steps than he was initially. Made it make it seem like Polnareff was actually chickening out of trying to attack him. So basically, Dio went to all the extra effort of grabbing Polnareff, moving him down a couple steps, and then going back up to seem menacing. It's just one of those things that seems sillier in hindsight.
The walk is far to Snowden. Yeah, I'm aware. Got some flint.
I got a rock.
Good grief.
I think I'm not really...
I stole the belt buckle,
Subby,
if you will.
Subby seems to just really not like the idea that dubs have oftentimes have different wordings on various lines. Like, he wasn't a fan of the fact that even though it still fit Jotaro's character, or Jotaro ended up making a Overwatch reference in the form of that part where, or in the dub, he's like to Dio, if this were the Wild West, the hero would say, it's high noon. And I'm just like, dude,
you know,
it's
that's
still
frankly
fast.
that's not specifically an Overwatch reference.
Yeah, but the thing is that the only reason that line ended up making it into the dub was because one of the script writers couldn't resist putting it in there.
I know.
But the fact of the matter is that it wasn't even Mercer's fault. Well, I fault him for being a tool bag. Like, I don't fault him for lines like that.
Yeah.
Because again, that was voice actor, script writer, or Jalen K. Cassell's handiwork. And
Can't be Asgore, because Asgore's the ruler. Can't be Dr. Science, because that's not a character. I'm gonna go with Alphys.
From my heart and from my hand, why don't people understand my
intentions? And it's like, even though there was a part in the Diamond is Unbreakable dub that I thought was pretty funny. Which was there was a part. It was when Koichi first awakened his stand echoes, or in the dub reverb, just because just because the dub couldn't avoid Pink Floyd having a cow over that.
Because Warner Brothers.
Yep. So
and the Warner sister.
Dot's not responsible for most of these. Anywho, so
Game. Please. There we go.
So essentially, in the the character or that Koichi was fighting Tamami, who has the stand known as the Lock, likely named after the song "The Rock."
If you smell.
Not that. I am already shooting that down.
Bum, ba-da-da, ba, 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 ba-da-da, bam. Ba, 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 ba-da-da, bam. Ba, ba-da-ba. Tall and tan and young and lovely looking girl from Ipanema goes a-walking, and when she passes, Angel One she passes goes. Ah. When she walks, she's like a summer swing so low. Do 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 do. Ba 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 bram ba bam ba da. Bra. So, I'm Just Ken from Barbie won Best Song at the Critics' Choice Awards, much to Ryan Gosling's shock.
Oh, that's just beautiful. We live in a timeline where a Barbie movie wins an award.
Yep. And here's the thing, there wasn't really all that much competition to begin with.
No, that's true.
So yeah, it's like, we get that it won, but what was it competing against, really?
That's a good point.
You know, oh. And anyway, getting back to what I was saying. So Tamami was trying to brag about how the Tama in his name stands for balls, and he grabs a knife to try to attack Koichi, and Koichi's like, "I'm not scared of that knife or your tiny balls," in the dub, and I'm like, oh god. Koichi, you did not have to murk him like that. I know he's holding your mother and sister hostage with that stand ability of his, but you did not need to murk him like that.
Oh.
He fucking killed him. He did more damage than that knife would have done unto him. And, but I'm just like, I failed to see how that's cringe. You tell me it's cringe, but how is it cringe?
Oh god. Okay.
Oh no, he's hot!
Goes there.
Oh no, he's hot.
There goes there.
Alright. Somebody actually made a meme of that using the character Yoshikage Kira in JoJo Part 4. Or it's like Kira is faced off with a bloodied Koichi who is not, whom despite looking worse for wear is still ready to throw down with him, and then Kira's like, "Oh, Kira, be intimidated by him. Just imagine him in his underwear." Cut to the actual episode.
No.
Cut to the actual episode where Koichi's in his undergarments, and he's like, "Oh no, he's hot."
Oh no, he's hot.
And he's the only male JoJo character that's ever drawn like that in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I'm not kidding, by the way.
What the hell is this thing?
In case you think I'm making that up.
No, I believe you.
I mean, it is JoJo.
Well, here's the thing. Well, here's the thing. You would expect other dudes like Josuke or Okuyasu to end up in situations where they're like that, but no. Oh, it's the short kid.
JoJo.
JoJo really is a bizarre adventure.
Yes, it is.
I got eternal gratitude. Let's see.
And meanwhile, game, you are actively testing my patience.
Speaking of the PC port, they have it on the Internet Archive.
Oh yeah.
Have one on the Mario 64, my bad. I'm sounding like a dumbass.
Yeah, it happens to the best of us.
The best of you.
Simply the best, the best, the best, the best of you.
Here we go!
Hey.
Ba-dum-bum-ba-dum-bum. Bonk.
Who has that one Resident Evil clip? And it's that video where Chris is asking Leon to fuck his sister.
A classic.
Alex, you remember that, right?
Yeah.
You know, it's weird how people would ship Leon with Claire, and yet he and Claire don't really share a lot of screen time together.
Yeah. The only monster I ever fired was the health inspector. Fired him before he arrived.
What? Oh, never mind. I'm asking.
I'm talking to the foreman. I believe these are Undyne's parents.
You know, it's usually the red coin missions where I go for the 100 coin stars.
Is there gonna be a mini game? So, Critics' Choice Awards nominees are for Best Picture were Barbie, Oppenheimer, Poor Things, Past Lives, Killers of the Flower Moon, The Color Purple, Maestro, The Holdovers, American Fiction, and Saltburn. Notable exclusions being Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. But that's because the Critics' Choice Awards have never, to my knowledge, nominated an animated movie for Best Picture.
Because they stupid?
Yeah.
You are stupid. You are stupid.
You are stupid. You are stupid.
When's the last time... Hang on, when's the last time an animated movie was nominated for Best Picture?
Beauty and the Beast.
Yep. Which was in fucking 90s.
Hang on. List of animated feature films nominated for Academy Awards. ...2010 Toy Story 3.
Oh, wow.
It's been 14 years.
Okay, then.
Oh, shit, yeah.
Johnny Joeli has finished recording his vocals for Axel Rudy Pell's next album.
Neat.
Apparently they're being sent off for final mix soon.
So what's weird about Metal Mario in this game is the fact that he can actually breathe underwater.
Huh.
I mean, obviously he is, you know, dense. And I can't do anything except jump, so why is this from even here?
Might as well jump.
Jump!
Go ahead and jump.
Jump!
Might as well jump.
What do you think of
Go
of
ahead
jump?
now, jump.
What do you think of jump, jump, slide, slide, man?
Huh. I don't know what that is.
Have you never played Mega Man 8?
No.
No.
So you've never heard of jump, jump, slide, slide?
No. I need to do a Mega Man marathon.
Okay,
Even
so
though
it's part of the ice level, where you are on this board, and there's a prompt that pops up that tells you to either jump, jump, or slide, slide.
Oh, okay.
People make a lot of jokes out of that.
As much as the burn to the ground, burn to the ground.
Those remind me of that I'm half tempted to just play the Japanese version of that game just because.
We aren't mining for gemstones. They're everywhere, and they're completely worthless. We're mining for minerals like this in front of me, used for building
it's not as
materials in the
egregious.
underground.
By the
They're
way,
also very, very tasty.
By the way, you know what's something that the genie has said that Aladdin would that Anakin Skywalker would definitely not like? This broadcast has been brought to you by sand.
Yes.
It's everywhere. Get used to it. Keep in mind, Alex has not seen Aladdin 3.
It's probably one of the better direct-to-DVD sequels.
It is. It is. No cap.
I mean, I like Return of Jafar, don't get me wrong, but yeah, you could definitely tell it's an
But here-
pilot.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Aladdin and 3 has actual production value, unlike Return to Jafar.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, and also John Rhys Davies.
Which also a plus.
Allow me to introduce the Thief. Imagine Aladdin.
And your name is? I'm Thor. You're Thor? You're Thor? Well, it hats.
I gotta rewatch that movie again.
Yeah.
Funny. The honeymoon. Funny. Honey, the Earth isn't supposed to move until the honeymoon. Yes, that is an actual joke in that movie.
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, I'm not surprised. I've seen the movie, but yeah.
I was telling Alec, primarily since I know you've seen it.
Gotcha.
You violated the perimeter of the Aladdin Jasmine wedding. Prepare to be.
Live forever. Who wants to live forever?
You know, it's gonna be my mission to get Seamoose to watch Highlander, or if he hasn't seen it.
The show or the movie?
The movie.
The movie.
Alex and I are still in the middle of watching the show.
Yes, we've gotten through
I'm
the
surprised.
first
I thought-
disc and a half of season 1.
I thought that was common Scottish, Irish law to watch it.
Dropper 9000.
Seamus isn't
Or 900.
Irish, which RGS
I
is
know.
Irish.
I correct myself. I
Haggish. What is Haggish?
So Seamus is Irish.
British.
RGS is okay.
RGS is Irish.
Wait. Okay, so hold on. I'm shutting up. I'm hearing. So, RGS is Irish.
Yes.
Isn't Seamus also?
No.
So Seamus is Scottish.
He's British.
Oh, he's British. Okay. Okay, I get you.
Oh no. It's a luchador.
Oh, fuck.
Booyaka, booyaka. 619.
Booyaka booyaka 619!
What's up to your mother?
Like there exists an actual luchador in Bleach.
I think you showed me that.
Yes, I did. The guy's name is Mas de Masculine.
Time for Dance Dance Revolution. It's time to It's time to duel.
I summon the Celtic Guardian in attack mode.
I have faith in my cards. I have cards.
You imagine that Yugi would fare... Do you imagine Yugi would fare well in poker, or would he fare poorly?
I mean,
I think Yugi would fare incredibly well. Oh, but he'd get thrown out for screaming a lot.
yeah. Huh, what's this? 2 of the same suite. In my hands, I hold 3 more cards of the same suite.
You know, I find out that power scaling for Yu-Gi-Oh! Is just really weird.
I can imagine.
Like, so what they have for
It's
versus
starting
Battle
to
Wiki.
remind me of Chroma Squad.
So apparently apparently on Versus Battle Wiki they say that most of the monsters in Yu-Gi-Oh are supposedly low multiverse level, to which I'm like, okay, what are you smoking and where can I get some? Because, you know, that's my typical response to these kinds of things.
Right.
Because even the Dark Magician is considered low multiverse. You know, one of the most
Are
basic.
they insane?
Are they retarded? Are they I'm the goddamn Batman.
Oh, god damn it. I was thinking it'd be easier if each of the 3 colors was assigned a different button.
Here we go!
If only it were that simple. Alright, I have cleared out the second floor of the Peach's Castle. So we have Bob-omb Battlefield, Whomp's Fortress, Jolly Roger Bay, Cool Coal Mountain, Big Boo's Haunt, Hazy Maze Cave, Lethal Lava Land, Shifting Sandland, Dire Dire Docks, Snowman's Land, Wet Dry World, Tall Tall Mountain, and Tiny Huge Island, as well as 13 out of 15 Secret Stars. hour on floor number 3. So TikTok clock has an interesting gimmick. Depending on what position you have, you've entered the clock, time will either will either move regularly or it will stop.
So, has anybody here heard of the YouTuber Cynic Snacks? Nobody?
Nope.
Okay. So, Cynic Snacks was one of the co-hosts of the Great British Podcast and a occasional contributor to EFAP. And apparently his real name is Ash Kabosu, and he's the bassist for the band Lovejoy. And a bunch of absolute fucking morons have gotten on his ass for jokes that he made on the Cynic Snacks account back in the day.
Okay.
And yeah, I don't know. Like, I'd never heard of the band. I'd never actually watched any of Cynic Snacks videos. I'd barely seen him on Twitter. I just, I heard him on EFAP. And, I thought he was cool. And then apparently, people decided to bring the cancel
culture stick
train his way. And unfortunately, he has also issued an apology about it. And thankfully, most of his audience has said, hey, yeah, whatever, dude, it's not a big deal.
Here we go!
Please don't make me play through the fire and the flames on this thing.
Land.
Listen, if you'll let me hook up my guitar, I could probably do it a little bit better.
Okay, I got the pit and the pendulums.
I'm fucking panicking.
Holy shit.
Holy shit.
Shit, guys, we got some missiles there coming. Fire, sheep.
I've actually met the English voice of Joseph Joestar, Richard Epcar, and I'm like,
Nice.
let's just say he was actually somewhat impressed by my ability to imitate his Joseph Joestar.
That is awesome.
Son of a
Apparently,
bitch.
GameStop is closing its its NFT marketplace.
And nothing of value was lost.
Yeah. And Twitter has removed the NFT profile picture option as well.
Well, at least we're healing one step at a time.
And nothing of value was lost. Or rather, hold on a sec, I gotta do my best. This Monty Python thing. And there was much
strategy for this.
There was much rejoicing.
Yeah.
Much like previous bosses, Clover can spare Balador by dodging for 12 turns. However, due to the syncopation of the notes, it is suggested to turn off the sound entirely and simply concentrate on the fucking note highway. Okay.
That doesn't make a lot of sense, since typically for rhythm stuff, you kinda want to focus on the note, on the rhythm.
Well, except for maybe in Chronicles of a Dark Lord Rhapsody Clash, which is one of the worst games I've ever played.
Then there's also, did you know that the Simpsons game ended on Rock You Like a Hurricane?
Huh,
I did not.
cool.
It has been a while since I played this.
It is amazing. It's an amazing cover. It is amazing, an amazing variant of that song. Like, you are basically playing DDR against God, and with that song in the background, and I'm like, oh, this is cool. And you also get some background voice clips from God himself saying some weird stuff in reference to the various parts of Christianity and whatnot. First original sin and now this. And I'm like, oh my. Also, for those wondering, get used to the slide theme in this game playing. Because that's going to be the theme for the remainder of the courses in this game. Because I get the distinct impression that they ran out of tunes to play for Mario 64 by this point. Don't get me wrong, I like the game. It's just it's not the most well-aged game out there. Plus, it's a launch title for the N64. I don't think I want to get a hand. And time has stopped. Tokyo Tomare, Zawarudo. Meanwhile, Aldio is just mad about the fact that his sexy hand was beaten up by Jotaro. Hey, in a David Lynch film?
That's the only downside to like N64 emulation. Like, sometimes the controls could either be fine or they can be, oh my god, make it stop.
I think for once I would actually want time to be moving forward.
Like Mario 64, yeah, it's rough at some places, but still fun to play.
And unfortunately, unlike Ocarina of Time's 3DS port, the DS port
Chung says silly dancing Mexican.
What?
About the game.
Okay then.
Yo, Holmes, you got a problem with me, Holmes? Yo quiero Taco Bell. I'm stopping.
Please do. Because
Yeah.
Funnily, I have actually met the guy who voices the Yo Quiero Taco Bell dog.
Oh, nice.
You met Carlos Alzaraki?
Yep.
Oh, damn, nice.
He was at UltraCon. And I even met Jago, the original voice of Mewtwo.
Oh, nice.
Unfortunately, it's like he doesn't sound like he could do the Mewtwo voice at this point in time.
Oh, damn.
And I'm like, yeah, shit happens.
I would, you know what? I'm not gonna. I would probably freak if I met Rocco.
I'm sure. Stomp on the swamp. So, then I also had met James C. Mathis III, who is Avengers Earth's Mightiest Hero, variant of T'Challa.
Huh.
Sweet.
And he was also kind of heartbroken to hear Chadwick Boseman's passing.
Oh, man.
He actually got to meet him before he was cast. Oops.
Yeah, Chadwick, holy shit, that came out of nowhere.
It did. And we find out that in the midst of him doing all that stuff in the Black Panther suit, he was doing it with all kinds of cancer and all that heat.
Shoot, man.
Fuck cancer.
And they still need to recast him. And I don't
Well,
care.
now they can't do that because he's fucking dead.
Yeah, because of course they can't. And meanwhile, the Watcher in the Marvel's What If has just decided, you know what? But fuck this whole anthology thing with little to no connecting tissue. So we're just gonna make a full-on narrative with Captain Carter and turn her into a goddamn Mary Sue. Go along with this Mary Sue original to character Native American superhero girl.
And also Killmonger.
Oh. Look, nothing against Michael B. Jordan.
You mean
I don't
Michael?
know,
You
I
mean
said
Michael
Jordan.
B. Jordan? That's the
Did I
only.
not-
Do you like jazz?
Did I not say B?
No. Oh, as in B.
Oh.
Yeah, as in what he needs for his career to be complete is for him to play an actual B named Michael B. Jordan. Emphasis on the
B-movie 2.
B
B-movie
B-
2, Jerry Seinfeld. Make it happen.
Make it happen or no balls.
Welcome to the premiere of the B movie 2. Be harder. Look.
Oh.
Can we what's the deal with that title? Be harder. It sounds like a sex joke. You know, given earlier DreamWorks, I wouldn't push that past them.
Yeah. I didn't think he was in it. Think Jerry Seinfeld's character was in love with what's her face's character. I'm like,
What was her name? Reese Witherspoon?
yeah,
Renee
Reese Witherspoon.
Zellweger?
How the hell did that work?
Renee Zellweger, that's who played her. Reese Witherspoon was in Monsters vs. Aliens.
Which wasn't that bad.
No, it was actually pretty good. Despite what Brendan Blaber claims. Jello Apocalypse.
That
He's
means
not
that. Sorry.
He's not all that good to her.
I think I've only seen his ranking videos, which were,
Yeah. And then there's, of course, the fact that it's like, he doesn't have, it's like, he is just so wrong about My Hero Academia, and yet, it's like, he thinks like every other arc is just an attack from the League of Villains, when I'm like, no. My guy, if that was how you felt the pacing was for MHA, you are horribly mistaken. Because last I checked, the arc following the license exam was the heroes going after villains, not the League of Villains.
Yeah.
It was a different faction altogether. Or it just happened to have 2 members of the League of Villains in it. This is... Every time I might try to say that I'm good at platforming, I have moments like these where I'm just so tense and I'm like, yeah, just ignore everything I said. I suck at this.
Well, I mean, to be fair, this is 3D platforming. If it was 2D platforming, you kill it. Holy shit.
My soul straight away.
Oh, fuck, no. Oh.
All that progress.
No.
For nothing.
Oh. Oh. Oh, God, that's...
Hang on, that sounded like it was gonna go into the solo from Master of Puppets.
Alex, my soul is being sucked away. Hey, the longer I'm playing this.
I'm getting sick.
Master of Puppets is pulling your string.
Twisting your mind and smashing your dreams. Blinded by me, you can't see a thing.
Alex, please, for the love of God, look up Master of Puppets, but every time he says
every time he says master, it gets faster of puppets, yeah.
Yes. What? Have you ever been curious about a Chipmunks cover of Master of Puppets?
Yes.
Not till you said it, but yes.
Basically, it turns into that.
So it's basically if you suck at hand-eye coordination, you just move your thing around. I was wondering what that meant, but well, now that I've got it on, I'm not going to be able to turn it off unless I purposefully die, and I've been through this. The notes are almost too far apart, I'd say.
Master.
Oh.
Imagine what the solo will sound like after
God.
for a while. They turned a song that's normally a little over 8 minutes long into a little over 5 minutes. That's how insane that variant is.
That's great.
I don't know which level I'm gonna hate more in this run. TikTok clock, or fucking Rainbow Ride.
Let's see. One you could probably recover, which would suck, and the other has bottomless pits.
Galore. And this level is has one gigantic bottomless pit. You want to know what is one of the strangest things I have seen from glitches of Sonic the Hedgehog 2006?
What?
Okay, so you know how Silver, how you could get stuck in a loop where Silver just keeps throwing you into a wall and into one ring?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's no use.
Well, one instance that was caught on video by Brain Scratch Comms was essentially they tried to show off that glitch, but they ended up getting something even better out of it.
Oh, I bet Johnny was thrilled.
Basically, Silver threw Sonic out of the invisible wall, and Sonic was outside the boss fight.
And to make matters worse, Silver then decides to yeet Sonic into space.
Oh,
To the
fucking way.
moon!
To the moon.
So, the
Oh,
New
fucking
York
way.
Post has posted about a rumored maternity ward at Walt Disney World.
Huh.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like we shouldn't be giving the Walt Disney Corporation this kind of power.
Nah. It's a girl.
And all the doctors have to talk like this!
More like
Actually, I'm on
this.
board with that.
Why?
Come on now, push, push. I can see the head.
I just...
Could you imagine if the maternity ward was based off different attractions?
Please, no. I don't need that image in my head.
You don't want to see a baby being born in the Haunted Mansion room?
No, that would give it nightmares.
I don't give it nightmares for its entire life.
Yeah.
Well, that's
They'll
what I
ne-
get for going too close to the sun there.
What are you, Icarus?
Yes.
Oh, thank God I recovered.
Oh, fuck.
Okay, I'm not gonna turn that off, because apparently I fucking need it because I suck at this game.
Come on, you stupid hand. Come on. Thank you. Move. Stop poking. I'm sorry. I'm just a little livid, that's all.
I don't blame you. I mean, you know.
Almost there. I just gotta go through this treadmill. Jump on the Thwomp's goddamn head. And we got it!
Woo!
You know, I think it's getting late, and I'm gonna call it for tonight. Next time on Mario 64, hopefully we'll finish the 3rd floor and finally kick Bowser's ass.
The karate, I'll kick your ass. Down
Here
in
to Tiananmen Square. Oh yeah, motherfucker! I'm gonna kick your fucking derriere. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, speaking of Tenacious D, Bella Ramsey or whoever the hell writes her jokes said that there are a bunch of actors who like to try and pretend that they're singers. Ryan Gosling, Jack Black. Somebody, I don't know who, could be her, could be somebody else. Frankly, I don't care. Somebody isn't aware that Tenacious D exists.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Anyway, so I'm signing off for the night. I will see you next week for Mario Party and Seamus's first time playing the game.
Oh, God.
Yep.
Please,
Like a virgin.
please tell me it's on the
Laying
weekend so I
for
can
the
tune into the
very
shit
first
show.
It's on
Time.
Monday.
Monday. I might miss a good majority of it, but I get off at 10:30.
Cool.